tagapagturo ay responsibility natin na magkaroon ng performance-based assessment. Many have changed in the field of assessment. Some advocates have argued that teachers and curriculum planners must uphold assessment types that promote the authentic learning which encourages lifelong learning. However, both traditional and authentic assessments are useful depending on the required competencies to be carried out. Hence, we have to cultivate the notion that some teachers must be flexible and become well-rounded to facilitate performance assessment allows the teachers to explore the main goal and processes of teaching and learning, and that kind of assessment enables teachers to see the alignment of what is asked with what is performed. It gives the teachers the opportunity to evaluate whether the performance or product harnessed the learning standards. Tatandaan po natin na mayroong limitasyon sa bawat bagay. Kaya't dito din sa performance-based assessment ay mayroong tinatawag na limitations. Una, development of high-quality performance assessment is a tedious process. Performance assessment is very demanding. During the planning, teachers need to make sure that the learning targets can all be harnessed in a single performance or product. Before and during the implementation, teachers must give enough time for learners to practice or create the task and time for the performance itself. In the evaluation, teachers must again create a reliable scoring rubric to avoid personal biases. Another one is performance assessment requires a considerable amount of time to administer. Unlike traditional assessment, performance assessment takes days to accomplish all performances, depending on the number of individuals or groups. Hence, teachers have to make sure that there is a huge amount of time allotted from the start of practice to the implementation proper. Third limitation is performance assessment takes a great deal of time to score. A complex performance or product requires much time to score. Hence, crafting of a high-quality scoring rubric is recommended to shorten the scoring time. Then, performance task scores may have lower reliability. Performance assessment allows learners to demonstrate their learnings in various ways, which may result in different products, performances, responses, and many others. This could affect the scoring capabilities of teachers, especially in observing and evaluating performances of different types. And the last limitation is performance task completion may be discouraging to less able students. The selective nature of performance tasks may diminish student motivation if they cannot accomplish tasks. So, there are types of performance tasks. especially in a certain subject like, for example, social studies and others. The optimum goal of performance tasks is to target all learning outcomes aligned with the goals, objectives, activities, and assessment. In this, performance tasks must promote active participation and lifelong learning. These tasks should also possess the ability to be integrated in various disciplines and in real life. Moreover, performance tasks must be challenging on the level of learners that they should see the tasks are worth practicing and striving for. Performance tasks can be in the form of problem solving, inquiry tasks, determining a position, demonstration tasks, exhibits, or presentation tasks. Tatandaan lamang na dapat ay mayroong output at outcome. Halimbawa, position paper. Ang outcome niyan ay constructed, publishable reaction paper on, let's say for example, socio-political issues. Ang halimbawa nito ay ang mga bata or ang mga mag-aaral will create a sound reaction paper or political dynasties, and students will identify and analyze the pros and cons of political dynasties. Isa pa rin diyang masasabi nating output ay ang tinatawag na simple survey research. Collaboratively completed survey research on social problems in the local community. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito, halimbawa ay asignatura ng araling panlipunan. Students will conduct a small-scale survey regarding the environmental and social problems in a barangay. The information that will be gathered will be analyzed and presented through an oral presentation. Isang halimbawa rin ng output dito ay ang role-playing or drama. Ang outcome ay presented performance that mirrors the community's needs and wants, which can be easily achieved by working together. So students will role-play the roles and concerns of the community members like population growth, expansion of economic activities, pollution, and social dysfunctions. So napakaraming mga halimbawa na pwedeng gamitin ang mga nag-aaral pagdating sa role-playing. At meron din tayong tinatawag na community action plan. Planned programs for local interests and engage in community-based work for positive causes. Students will assess the needs of the community based on the observations. The results of the survey will be presented in the class, then be given to the authorities for proper action. So, napakarami pong mga halimbawa na pwedeng gamitin pagdating sa performance task. Pwede natin gamitin ang business or yung product proposal. Halimbawa, ang isang mag-aaral ay nagpe-prepara o naghahanda ng kanilang produkto. In front of a set of panelists, the students will present their products. If approved, the student shall market their products on social media. At pwede rin magkaroon ng exhibit. So, student planned and organized exhibit on cultural identity. Ang isang mag-aaral will create an artwork that symbolizes their ethnic affiliation. All products shall be displayed for public viewing. Ayan, nabasa ko yan sa isang aklat. Sabi nga, si Esmeralda, 2018. So, napakaraming mga pwedeng gamitin para magkaroon ng performance-based outcome. At tatandaan din Kasi responsibilidad natin itong mga bagay na to. Dapat meron tayong isang rubric. Dapat alam natin kung paano tayo mag-score o uri ng rubric na dapat ay ginagamit natin. Halimbawa, this kind of scoring rubric requires teachers to identify major skills that are relevant and aligned with what is intended to measure. It determines the specific and detailed criteria that learners must achieve. When criteria are defined in a detailed manner, teachers will not face any difficulty in assigning scores to a performance or a product. Each criterion is defined based on a certain degree of performance, thereby creating better diagnostic information. Meron din tayong tinatawag na holistic rubric. Itong uri ng rubric na to allows teachers to evaluate a performance or a product based on the perspective of its overall quality. Each criterion is defined generally and then assigned a score. This gives the teachers an overall grasp of what should be evaluated among the learners. It also allows the teachers to rate very quickly, thus saving more time for the performance. So, there are lots of examples of rubric that can be used in this performance-based assessment. Pagdating naman po sa pag-aaral ng mga bata, halimbawa ay sa elementarya, ano-ano ba yung mga basic learning areas in the elementary curricula? Huwag natin kakalimutan na ang basic learning areas included in the elementary curricula ay ang mga sumusunod. So, unahin na natin ang edukasyon sa kagandahang asal. Napakagandang pag-aralan ang values education ng mga kabataan. Yan ay sinusunod natin ang sinasabing good manners and right conduct or education sa kagandahang asal at wastong pag-uugali. So, ito po ay separate learning area. Then, isa pa po ang Filipino. The area shall provide for the development of competencies in the Filipino language, specifically in speaking, reading, writing, thinking, and listening. So, ang listening competency shall include such skills as auditory discrimination and comprehension. Speaking, pronunciation, use of expressions, and grammar structures. Meron din tayong tinatawag na reading, vocabulary development, recognition, comprehension, and study skills, and writing. Handwriting skills, composition, and mechanics. So, listening, speaking, reading and writing, and thinking skills shall be developed in different learning situations. Literary appreciation shall be taught. So, meron din tayong English o asignaturang English. This area shall provide for the development of competencies in English, specifically in listening, speaking, reading, writing, and thinking. Listening competency shall include such skills as auditory discrimination and comprehension. Speaking competency shall include pronunciation, use of expressions, and grammatical structures. Reading shall include vocabulary development, recognition, comprehension, and study skills. Writing shall be concerned with handwriting skills, composition, and mechanics for effective teaching. The specific skills constituting these competencies shall be developed in the communication situations using many and varied materials to the point of mastery. Children shall also be taught appropriate literary materials such as jingles, rhymes, poems, dialogue, and others suited to the grade. Next is science and health. Science and health shall aim to help the Filipino child gain functional understanding of science concepts and principles linked with real-life situations. It shall also aim to help the child acquire science skills as well as scientific attitudes and values needed in solving everyday problems pertaining to health and sanitation, nutrition, food production, and the environment and its conservation. Another one is mathematics. The study of mathematics shall include the four fundamental operations, fractions, metric and local measurements, the use of money and their application to practical problems based on activities in real life, and the conceptualization of the meaning of ratio and scales, maps, and graphs. Tungkol naman sa heograpiya, kasaysayan at sibika, this learning area shall deal with the study of the relationship of man to society and government, his role, duties, responsibilities, rights, and privileges as a citizen of his country and of the whole world as well. It shall also include the development of moral and spiritual values and pride in one's cultural heritage. It shall also include the development of moral and spiritual values, pride in one's cultural heritage, proper nutrition, desirable health habits, and creative self-expression through music, arts, and physical education. So this area shall be a learning package. It is composed of history, geography, and civics. It shall deal with the study of evolution of human society with the individuals as the central figure in this process of evolution. Halimbawa, example ay kung papaano ang mga tao, sabi nga nila, how people, ideas, and events in the past help shape the present. How man manages the present in order to attain a desired future. And since man is the central figure of this evolution, how he must strive to develop his human potentials to enable him to live effectively in his physical, social, economic, political, and cultural environment. History shall provide a time continuum of people, problems, and achievements, as well as ideas and events in the past that have influenced the present. It shall treat how many changes and modifications in the structure of society brought about the emergence of new, more, and valid opportunities and benefits for the development of human potential. Ang geography naman po ay nagpo-provide ng isang of perspective of man's physical and social environment and these ways of adapting to and managing it. It shall include physical features such as land and water, forms, climate, flora, and fauna, location, altitude, directions, demography, and adaptation utilization, conservation, and improvement thereof. Civics shall deal with the relationship of man and government, his role, duties and responsibilities, and his rights and privileges as a citizen. Together with history and geography, civics shall provide many and varied experiences in which the learner shall develop feeling of pride, identity, and loyalty to the country and nation, transcending his pride in identity with and loyal to his family, tribe, or region. Another one is edukasyong pantahanan at pangkabuhayan. Ito yung EPP. The activities shall emphasize the development of desirable work attitudes, basic work skills and habits relevant to everyday chores at home, school and community, and the production of useful articles. It shall also cover phases of work in elementary agriculture, home economics, industrial arts, retail trade, and other livelihood activities designed to develop awareness of interest in occupational jobs. Last is musika at singing. Music shall aim to provide the child with the basic skills and appreciation of musical rhythm, melody, form, dynamics, tempo, texture, and harmony. Art, on the other hand, shall develop the basic skills and sense of aesthetic perception, creative expression, and appreciation of our art heritage, as well as the natural and man-made environment. Edukasyong pagpapalakas ng katawan, the physical education curriculum, which starts in grade 1, shall give emphasis on school sports while nurturing dances, rhythm, recreation, and outdoor activities in the context of Filipino culture. The effective implementation of the elementary curriculum calls for its continuous refinement to address the reality in education, which implies the development of empowered and lifelong learners in a rapidly changing world. These refinements are based on monitoring feedback as well as observations undertaken by schools officials. Curriculum standard from preschool to grade 6 have been developed. Likewise, competencies have been clustered, improved, and aligned with the standards. A major refinement is the integration of socio-emotional learning in edukasyong pagpapakatao, which includes core skills like self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. These skills will facilitate academic achievement. The teaching of edukasyong pagpapakatao and sibika at kultura, o yung tinatawag nating HECASI, shall put emphasis on demonstrating nationalism and love of cultural heritage. The pambansang awit shall be sung properly, at ito po ay kinakailangan nating inirerespeto pag ito po ay ating inaawit. National songs, folk dances, poems, folklores, other literature and customs, and traditions that enrich the Filipino culture must be embedded in the school environment. Yan po ang mga kinakailangan nating malaman sa pagtuturo sa elementarya. Kaya't maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nakikinig sa mga pagkakataong ito. Mga ilan lamang yan sa mga mahahalagang bagay na dapat ay malaman ng lahat ng mga nagtuturo. Kung kayo man sa oras na ito ay hirap na hirap at talagang hindi makasunod sa larangang ito ng pagtuturo, huwag nating kakalimutan that whatever situations you are experiencing right now, always remember, God is still in control. God bless everyone.